In South America, Giganotosaurus is considered the king of all land predators, which is more than understandable, as it is the only predator on this continent that could potentially reach a size of 10 metric tons. However, the commonly known image of Giganotosaurus as a hunter of Argentinosaurus is fundamentally wrong. Although Giganotosaurus did live alongside a megasauropod, namely the undescribed colossus nicknamed the Candeleros monster, it was not at home in the land of the Titans, also known as the Herwinkle Formation. The top predator of this formation was, until recently, Mapusaurus, which may even have lived and hunted in packs or unorganized gangs. However, there is now a predatory dinosaur that would have eclipsed all other theropods in Herwinkle. A giant that reached a size that was extremely rare among theropods. It was the only Carcharodontosaur that could compete with Giganotosaurus, the meraxes gigas. In 2012, the remains of a predatory dinosaur were found in Patagonia. At the time, it was informally referred to as Campanas Carcharodontosaurid. It was not described until 2022. Its name: Meraxes gigas, the great dragon Meraxes, named after the dragon Meraxes from Game of Thrones. Meraxes was classified in the Giganotosaurini group. These theropods include all Carcharodontosaurids from South America and are also the best equipped terrestrial big game hunters of all time due to their size and physical characteristics such as their elongated skulls and large shark-like teeth. As a Giganotosaur, Meraxes must have been quite something, as this group is elite across the board. The holotype of Meraxes was estimated to be a good 10 meters long and weigh up to 5 tons. However, another even larger specimen was discovered. This colossal predator is estimated to be 11.6 to 12.2 meters long and weighs 6.5 to 8.6 tons. Based on the lower size estimates, it would be slightly larger than Taurovenator and similar in size to Mapusaurus. However, if we take the upper size estimates, this Meraxes specimen is not only considerably larger than Mapusaurus and Taurovenator, but also the second largest Carcharodontosaurid, second only to the Giganotosaurus. In a one-on-one fight, the holotype of Giganotosaurus and the large specimen of Meraxes would probably be almost equal. Incidentally, Meraxes is also the newest member of the Giganotosaurini group, a subgroup within Carcharodontosauridae. However, it should be noted that these size estimates were shown in the latest megatheropod video by the Vividen in the first quarter of this year. However, these estimates could change abruptly again, as many dinosaurs are now classified as even heavier due to the latest calculation methods for dinosaur size, namely 3D models. Acrocanthosaurus, for example, was upgraded from about 6 tons to over 8 metric tons in weight, based on 3D constructions of an acro specimen with a hump. Since Meraxes did not have a hump of this type, it will probably not gain 2 metric tons, but one could at least imagine that we will soon be talking about a new 9-ton Carcharodontosaurid. Meraxes joins Carcharodontosaurus, Giganotosaurus, the new humped Acrocanthosaurus, and possibly Tyranotitan as the only Carcharodontosaurids known to weigh 8 metric tons or more. These big game hunters could truly be described as the elite within the elite. Either way, the formation in which Meraxes lived must have been truly insane, considering that, in addition to Meraxes, 2 other megatheropods, aka theropods weighing 5 metric tons or more, are contained in the rocks of Herwinkle. These 2 predatory monsters include Mapusaurus and Taurovenator, although it is not certain whether all 3 lived at the same time. Either way, the huge amounts of meat required by such massive carnivorous beasts as Meraxes, Mapusaurus and Taurovenator raised the question of whether an entire continent, let alone a formation, could even sustain these predators. Well, the Herwinkle Formation is not known as the land of the Titans for nothing. For every megatheropod in Herwinkle, there is an equivalent sauropod. This means that the large carnivores in the area were also well provided for, as they could feed on the carcasses of these sauropods for quite some time. In Herwinkle, we are talking specifically about the 3 giants Argentinosaurus, Bustingoritaitan, and Chukarosaurus, whose sizes range from 30 to 75 tons. Keep in mind, however, that these figures are not yet based on 3D models and are relatively conservative. In other words, we may soon have a 3D model of an Argentinosaurus weighing 100 metric tons. But what else lived in this formation? Well, the Herwinkle Formation also includes other vertebrate paleofauna from the late Cenomanian, 97 million years ago, and the Turonian, which spans from about 93 to 89.8 million years ago. The formation is best known for dinosaurs, including the Ornithischian Chacosaurus, smaller sauropods such as the Rebbachisaurid diplodocoids, Limaesaurus, Cytosaura, and Cathartosaura, and the Titanosaur Choconsaurus. Considering that this formation was home to 7 different sauropod genera, one of which is still the largest officially described dinosaur for many out there, it is once again abundantly clear why this formation can contain and sustain such massive predators as Mapusaurus, meraxes, and Taurovenator. But what about the smaller theropods? In addition to the 3 Carcharodontosaurids, the Patagonian Huincal formation also includes Aniraptor, whose exact group we still do not know, the possible Coelurosaur gualicho, the Abelisaurus Ilocalicia Tralcasaurus, and the well-known Scorpiovenator, as well as the Maniraptor Oviroraptor. Other reptiles in the formation include the turtle Prochelidella, the rhynchocephalians Caicaphylosaurus, and Patagosphenos. It is clear that meraxes is the top predator in its environment. After all, it was a theropod large enough to tear apart juvenile sauropods, nibble and flesh graze on adult sauropods, steal prey from any other theropod, and theoretically even take on Giganotosaurus if they ever crossed paths. In Huincal, however, only another conspecific could pose a threat to meraxes gigas. However, the dominance of these Carcharodontosaurs should not last forever, as they became extinct at the end of the Turonian period about 90 million years ago, which means that meraxes gigas also blessed the temporal. It was one of the last giant carnosaurs, an eerily huge predator of Cretaceous Patagonia. That's it for this video. Smash the thumbs up, the bell and the subscribe, as only legends do that, and I know you all are. I am also currently looking for an editor. If you want to join, just send an email to official.megaraptor@gmail.com. Add a YouTube link of an unlisted video of a 30 to 60 second clip using one of my voiceovers or even your own voiceover with some pictures and videos of the dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals talked about in the voiceover. I would also recommend adding some movement to the video, such as zooms, transitions and so on. You can add some memes for bonus points.
I'm different. I am the one that can see John Cena.
For more Megaraptor, there is also the German channel. Also check out Instagram for fitness motivation and inspiration, as I'm on a mission to help more people get fit. Furthermore, you can also check out Twitter to hear my thoughts on all kinds of dinosaur stuff. And with that, I wish you a splendid day or evening. Goodbye.